and he doesn't have a conception of home to return to. Home is just as messed up as everything else. Why do I want to go back to that? Why do I want to go back to that confusion and that where everybody's absorbed? There's a wise father who says, I'm going to build me a home. I'm going to spread my table. And when my little boys get out there, they're not going to forget this. They're not going to forget this life. They're not going to forget my table. They're not going to forget this little home that I've made for them. We sing sometimes, I like to go back and think my day's over and hear my name spoken in prayer. When Father would pray, Lord, save my dear children. Sing that sweet heaven was there. Such singing and shouting we had in those days. It lifted us out of all care. Oh, my Lord, to build a home like that, where Dad sang and prayed and Mother rejoiced, and that just God in the home, and they just loved it. And though they got out and I can't tell you how many folks, how many children had gone through Brookside's children's home that right back and said, oh, wish we'd go back those days. Might have been a hard day, 30 other kids there, but there was Sam Richards who prayed, and God had moved in that place, and there's that old preacher who got up and preached, and there's those ladies that call on God, and while we had others, and while it was rough in some things, there was heaven around there, and there's a bed to sleep in, and there's food on the table, and that was the first sense of home that we ever had in our lives. He's a wise father. He built himself a home. Not just a house, but a home. I see the wisdom of the Father. Then I see the waiting of the Father. Came to pass, this boy took his living. He took what was given him. That's one of the amazing things about the wealth of the Father is he divided to his sons his living. But then kept on living. He gave everything he had to his boys. He gave them their inheritance, and they never missed it. His servants never went without food. His servants never lacked. When the far country was in famine, the father had given what he had to his sons, but he didn't lack anything. That's how wealthy he is. He can give it all to you and still have all himself. Say, I want all that's coming to me. He can give it all to you if you want and still not miss any of it. And he gave to his son his living. His son went out. Then I see the waiting of the Father. See, he's a wise father. And he said, I built myself a home. And I know that there's nothing out there. He doesn't know it yet. He doesn't know it yet, but I know there's nothing out there that can beat what I've got right here. Son, if you want to get up and go on. Heard Sam Richards say, Walnut Grove little boy, said, went to school there, said there them other boys were from Bluff City. He said, Sam's so embarrassed because morning time the biscuits and ham is left over for breakfast she'd pack him for lunch. Said he'd go off to Walnut Grove School and call lunch break, he'd slip off behind the schoolhouse because he's ashamed of his ham biscuits. Said them other little boys had peanut butter and crackers, found him out there and said, what are you doing, Sam? He said, well, Mom, Pax, they said, would you trade? We sure wish we could have ham biscuits. You want to take peanut butter and crackers? We got peanut butter and crackers. You've been living on ham biscuits. Sam thought he'd deprive. And then city boy said, you got the best stuff we'd ever want. We wish we'd have them ham biscuits. That father said, if I spread a table and if I build me a home, they don't have anything compared to what I've got right here. So how do we, if there's any vaccination for prodigal children, it's to have God in the house of God. Amen. It's to have Brother Larry preached this morning, death is coming, hell is moving, can you bear to let them go? And the songwriter answered back, we've met to worship. We've met to worship. We'll take care of these hell-bound sinners. We'll take care of these. Death has come to snatch from us. It's when the family of God gets together and begins to worship and bless and magnify the Lord. There's nothing like it in the world. Hell can offer a whole lot, but he can't touch that. After they've had it all and done it all, they'll say, I want to get back where I felt God in my youth, where I felt the move of God and the power of God. Let me get there. Let me get one more drink of water and let me feel that wash over my soul again. Let me get where God's at. Well, where is he? meant to worship. Thank the Lord if we get serious about that. Get our eyes and our hearts. Want to magnify Him, to lift Him up. The old preacher said, Elk River Baptist Church, that's what them old men would do. They didn't come for anything. They laid all their work aside. When they came to worship. Oh, they were determined. They had met not to shake hands, say howdy. They had met to worship God. Come hell or high water, whatever the devil has to say, we've met to worship the God of heaven. And we're not going to leave here till heaven's come down and glory fill our soul. We're going to stay right here till God's helped us and we've blessed Him and we've exalted Him and we've given Him His place and He's been magnified. And so long as that's happened, it'll be all right. Thank God. Meant to worship. Meant to bless Him. Heard the old preacher back on furlough said, talking to preachers, he said there's more to this than fried chicken and iced tea. He said there's a whole big God in heaven that we've meant to worship. We're just not here to fellowship and shake hands and have a good time, but we're here to worship and extol and bless the good God of heaven. Thank God and honor Him. There's a waiting Father. Father said, I don't know how long it'll be, but I know they don't have what I have. And maybe every morning took his cup of coffee and stepped out on the front porch. Maybe while they laid the table in there and before they called him in to say grace and eat the meal, he stepped out on the farm. I imagine it wasn't long before that boy left that the father started that morning ritual, going out there and looking. He'll be back. Glory be to God. I know He'll be back. I don't know how long it'll be. I don't know how long it'll take Him to burn through what I've given. But I know He'll burn through it. Because all there is out there is spend and waste. And He said when He's at the end of it, oh, He'll remember. He'll remember this. I laid such a table and I organized such a home and built such a place that He'll never forget. Boy, He'll never forget. It'll come to Him. It'll haunt Him when He's out there in the far country. Brother Joe said hoboing around on those freight trains, and even Lindy Clear said while he's running from God on those freight trains, see the little white church, riding with the Stanley brothers in the back of that bus, and he'd see that little white church, and his heart would pray, there's nothing compared to what I've got there. Till one day he left it all, said I'm going to go back to that little white church where I felt God and felt the touch of God and arise and go back to my Father's house and enjoy that again, thank God. That father, when that boy left, started that ritual. I'm going to get out there and look. My eyes are on that far gate. My eyes are on that far lane. One day I'll see him. They don't have anything out there. I don't know when it was, whether it was the morning time. I don't know if it was the evening time. But just like he'd been doing, he went out on the front porch, maybe before retiring that evening. Maybe, I don't know when it was, but he went out there and he espied in the distance the shape of form. Glory be to God.
Yeah. Amen, brother.
Said, I can tell by the way that boy's walking, walking like me.
Tell him. Amen.
Hallelujah. And his heart swelled with compassion. And he lit off the front porch, and some servant about to step out there and say it's time. Saw that old man heading out there in a hurry. What in the world's going on? Went out there and fell across that boy and hugged him and kissed him, said, I've been looking for you to come home. I've been looking for you. When the father took off, that servant didn't know what was going on. He took off after him. Way down the road someplace, that servant come upon him, and he saw that old dirty boy. He saw that old son blackened and stinking. And the father said, this is my son. He didn't deny, he didn't say, I don't know who this is, but he said, it's my son. Boy, it's my boy. Glory be to God. This is him. This is him. I've been looking for him, and he's come back today. The son tried to get his little spiel in. The father looked at the servant and said, you run up there. Get you the best robe. And he said, find you some shoes. And he go to that jewelry box of mine and pick out that signet ring and bring it back here and let's slip it on his hand. This is my son. Was dead. He's alive. And said, you go tell them other fellas, said, let's kill the fatted calf. He said, we're going to make merry. My boy's come home. I've been looking for him. I knew he'd be back. And he's back, thank God. He's back. Do you know the Lord's looking at you tonight? Some of you, God's been looking down the road and He's been looking for you to come. He's been looking for you. He knows the way you amble. He knows the way you walk. You think He won't receive me. You think He doesn't want me. You think you've convinced yourself that God won't do it for me. Why God won't do it for me? He might do it for that one or the other one, but not me. You don't realize it's you He's been looking for the whole time. You don't realize it's you He's had His eyes on. And Lord, when you take that step His direction, you'll find out it's not as far as you thought it was. Take a step His direction and you'll find Him there to meet you, thank God. And you'll find Him there with arms wide open and to embrace you, to fold you to Himself, and to receive you whole again. He's waiting for you. What are you waiting for? Brother Ronnie Millsap, we went to his son Randall's ordination, and they're busy and there's a lot of people there. I told Hannah, I said, we'll be back tomorrow night. It was on Saturday. I said, we'll go back to Brother Ronnie's one last time. And we went there that night, Sunday night, and boy, sure, it's good to see you. It's just one of them fellas that you just, one of those, I mean, God's men, that's the only way you can say it. Just, it's so good to be around him. I told him, I said, Brother Ronnie, I haven't come for anything other just to be with you. I don't care, like Brother Nathan, you know, some places we go and, well, I'll come for your money. But honestly, I just want to come be with you. I'm not even coming to preach. I just want to sit with you and be with you and hear you. Just feel that spirit. I like to see that man when he gets up and heaven gets stirring around in him. There's no modern preacher that has that old time, that old spirit. He get up and heaven start rolling around in there and you think, boy, let me hang around this for a little while. Let me linger here and let some of this roll off on me. I want this. This is what I come for. Let everybody have everything else. Let me hang right here. Let some of this roll off on me. Went there that night, and man, God moved in there just before we sang one song, and he got so full he couldn't even stop to take an offering. He said, I don't know what we're going to do tonight. He said, I feel so much heaven. My soul, I feel so much. He said, you know, preacher Buddy used to call and said when Ronnie'd shake it, he got in the beehive, and the bees was on him. And Brother Luther reminded him that night before, said when Brother Ronnie gets in the pulpit and gets God on and says like the bees are. And Brother Ronnie said, I've got the bees on me tonight and I can't get them off. They're just all over me. I don't know what I'm going to do. And he shouted and was up and down in the pulpit and out of the pulpit, tried to sit down a little bit, called on us to sing. We sang. This woman over here shouted and he shouted. And I mean, it just heaven rolled in. And he said, you preach. Before service, I talked to him a little bit. He'd go to say something and he'd stop. He wouldn't say it. He'd just go on something else. When the service is over, he said, I didn't tell Brother Will. I preached this message right here. I tried to, rather. He said, I didn't tell Brother William. He said, I started to tell him when he walked in what I'd preached this morning. And he said, I didn't say anything. The Lord said, don't say nothing to that boy about what you preached. And he said, I preached on Luke chapter 15. And I preached on that prodigal son came to himself. He came to himself and he came to his father. Then he came home. But he had to come to himself first. And the Father had been waiting on some of you to come to yourself. He's had his eyes right on you, waiting for you to come to yourself. And then get up and come to him, and he'll be there to meet you, thank God. I see the waiting of the Father. Then I see the welcome of the Father. He didn't meet that boy out there with a long list of, well, now it's going to be different. He didn't meet that boy out there with a long list of I told you so's, or a long question and answer, or a long let's get this all taken care of and hashed out, and he just met him out there with outstretched arms. and a kiss. He said, Father, I've done this. And just kissed him while he tried to tell him. I don't suppose the Father ever heard one word. I don't suppose the Father ever heard anything. He just kissing him, looked at that old servant over there and said, let's dress this boy up. Let's dress him up. Let's make him feel welcome. Said, let's put him back in the... Did you know he had left, he had spent everything he had, and everything he returned to was all the Father's. He had restored him, returned him, but it's much more than restored him. He had restored him to a greater position. When he returned, he was now dressed in the Father's clothes. When he returned, he's now wearing the Father's shoes. When he's returned, he's now wearing the Father's ring. When he returned to a higher place. So how is that possible? I don't know how that's possible. Why don't you give it a try and find out yourself? I left out, Lord. He said, I'm not worthy to go back to my old room, but if you put me up out there with the servants, he said, I'm going to put you in a whole new wing. And it's called grace. And he said, you're going to sleep in a big bed. And he said, I'm going to look after you. And said, we're going to make merry. Somebody preached, said they began to make merry, but there's never any ending of it. There's never any closure to it. They began, but they never stopped. They began, but there never was a time when they said, hey, it's all said and done, let's wrap it up. No, they began to make merry, and they're still making merry. Thank God for that boy that came home. Hallelujah. The welcome of the Father. Some of you think, sometimes if you're not careful, the devil will tell you that. He's a liar. He'll tell you that God, you're guilty and you've got to, and God's mad at you and God won't welcome you. The devil will come up and tell you that you've gone too far, that you've sinned too great, that you've crossed the line, that you've exceeded the length or the depth, the breadth of God's mercy. You've expended. It's too. The devil's always telling you that it's over. You can't. You're gone. Forget it. Give up and die. Don't turn to God. Kill yourself. End your life. You've gone too far. You've done too much. God won't welcome you home. He's a liar. He's from hell. He's going back to hell. And he wants to take you to hell with him. God will welcome you home. God will love you. God will forgive you. God will kiss you. God will love you. He'll restore you. Thank God. You're not too far. You can come back to him. Thank the Lord. That's what everybody in the far country kept telling that boy. There's always something better, a little bit farther, a little bit farther. Don't what do you got to go home for? What do you want to return around? What do you want to go back? Just keep on going this direction. And that was the devil's plan for that boy. That was the devil's plan all along, for that boy to despair and kill himself in a far country. Die outside the Father's home. That's the devil's plan for every one of us. The thief cometh but for to kill, to steal, and destroy. He wants to kill you. He's one who whispers in your ear at night, you don't have anything worth living for. He's one who tells you at night why you won't go on living. You've got no joy, you've got no peace. You've got to look that you've prayed, you've called on God. There's nothing, there's no answer. Why don't you just end it all? Or why don't you just drown your sorrows in this and forget everything? He's the one that's telling you that. He's a liar whispering in your ears those things. Trying to tell you that the Father's house and the Father and God doesn't want you and it's too great and the distance is too far and you've gone too bad and you've gone straight too long. He's the one telling you all them things. You've got a Father that's looking out, waiting for you to come. Jesus stood over Jerusalem with his arms outstretched. Isaiah said, all the day long have I stretched out my arms. He said, all day long I've stood there waiting. Anybody wants to? He said, I'll fold him, I'll hug him. He said, just like that hen gathers a chick under her wings. He said, the Father has sent to you. You don't know how I know that God's waiting on you. He sent messengers telling me he's waiting on you. He told them straying Jews, he said, rising up betimes early in the morning, to where the first thing you heard when you woke up was a man hollering, come to God, he's waiting for you. He said, all the day long, he said, I sent my messengers down by your way, Come to God, He's waiting on you. Come to God, He'll receive you. Come to God, He'll welcome you in. Come to God, He'll take care of you. Come back to the Lord, He'll receive you. How do we know that the Father's waiting on you? He sent messengers by here to say He's waiting on you. He's looking for you to return, to come to yourself and to come to Him. And He'll welcome you in, thank God. He'll fall on you, kiss you, love you. If you just get up and head His direction, He'll do it all. Amen, brothers and sisters.
I don't know, maybe there's somebody, well, sure, there is somebody here. I don't have any doubt about it. God's got his hand outstretched for you tonight. He's calling you. He's wanting you to come home. And like Brother William said, he knows what's out there. He knows what's ahead of you. He knows where you're going. He knows what you're in for. He loves you. He wants you to be here. He wants you to be in his home. He wants you to be part of the family. And he's reaching out for you tonight. And I know that there's some of you that probably don't see that. You see it a different way. You see, well, I don't think the Father knows. I don't think he really understands. I think I see better. But it's not that way. It's not that way. And I don't want you to have to find out the hard